The rain fell softly over the quiet streets of Enugu. Inside a modest house at the edge of town, Ada sat alone by the window. For more than 20 years, she had lived only for one purpose, her daughter Chioma. Ada was a single mother who had sacrificed everything. She worked long hospital shifts, skipped meals, and endured loneliness so Chioma could grow into a successful woman. Now Chioma had finally achieved her dream. She had traveled abroad to continue her studies. The house was silent, too silent. Ada stared at the empty dining table and whispered to herself, "After all these years, what do I do with my life now?" She had no idea that loneliness was about to lead her into the biggest mistake of her life. Just 1 week earlier, the airport had been filled with excitement and tears. Chioma hugged her mother tightly. "Mom, I'll be back before you know it." Ada forced a smile. "I know, just focus on your studies." Standing beside them was Chioma's husband, Chinedu, a young businessman, respectful and calm. Ada had always been proud of the man her daughter chose. Chinedu promised Chioma he would take care of Ada while she was away. At that moment, none of them imagined what that promise would become. A few days after Chioma left, the doorbell rang. Ada opened the door and saw Chinedu standing outside. "Good evening, Mom," he said politely. "I came to check on you." Ada welcomed him inside. They shared tea and talked about Chioma's journey. For the first time in years, Ada laughed freely. Chinedu noticed something too. Behind Ada's strength was a woman who had been lonely for a very long time. Days turned into weeks. Chinedu began visiting often. Sometimes he came after work, sometimes he came on weekends. They cooked together, watched television, and shared stories. Ada slowly started looking forward to his visits. The empty house no longer felt empty, but something dangerous was growing between them. Something neither of them wanted to admit. One stormy evening, the power went out. The house was dark, except for candlelight. Ada and Chinedu sat close together in the living room. They talked about their regrets, dreams, and loneliness. Chinedu confessed something quietly. "Sometimes I feel very alone too." Their eyes met. The silence between them grew heavy. One moment of weakness changed everything. A boundary that should never have been crossed was crossed. After that night, guilt filled the house, but the secret continued. They told themselves it was temporal. They told themselves no one would find out, but secrets have a way of growing heavier every day. Every phone call from Chioma felt like a knife in Ada's heart. Every "I miss you" made Chinedu feel worse. Still, neither of them stopped. Chioma began to sense something was wrong. Her mother sounded distant on the phone. Chinedu seemed distracted. One evening, she told her friend in London, "I don't know why, but sometimes I feel strange at home." That feeling refused to go away. 3 months later, Chioma made a decision. She wanted to surprise her family. Without telling anyone, she booked a flight back to Nigeria. She imagined the look on her mother's face. She imagined Chinedu's excitement, but the surprise waiting for her would be very different. Chioma arrived home quietly. The front door was unlocked. She stepped inside with her suitcase. Then she heard laughter coming from the living room. She walked slowly towards the sound, and what she saw stopped her heart. Her mother and her husband were sitting close together, too close. Their hands were intertwined. Chioma dropped her suitcase. The loud sound echoed through the room. Both Ada and Chinedu turned in shock. The truth had finally arrived. "What is this?" Chioma's voice trembled with rage and disbelief. Ada stood frozen. Chinedu tried to speak. "Chioma, please listen." But she could not hear anything. Her world had shattered. The two people she trusted the most had betrayed her. At that moment, Chioma walked out of the house without another word. Days passed. Chioma refused to answer calls. Ada fell into deep regret and shame. Chinedu lost everything: his wife, his respect, his peace. Their secret had destroyed a family. Months later, Ada began volunteering at a community clinic. She dedicated her life to helping struggling mothers and abandoned children. She was trying to repay the damage she had caused. Chinedu also changed his life. He started counseling and focused on rebuilding his integrity. Neither of them expected forgiveness. They only hoped Chioma could someday find peace. 1 year later, Chioma returned home again, not with anger, but with distance and maturity. She had realized something painful: holding on to hatred would only destroy her own future. She did not fully forgive them, but she chose to move forward. Standing outside the house where everything happened, Chioma spoke quietly. "Loneliness can make people weak. Secrets destroy trust, and betrayal always find consequences." Ada nodded with tears in her eyes. Some mistakes cannot be erased, but people can still learn from them. Years later, Chioma became a successful doctor. Ada continued helping the community. Chinedu rebuilt his life quietly. Their story became a lesson whispered through the town, a reminder that love without boundaries becomes destruction. Secret grows into pain, and redemption only comes through trust and responsibility. Dear story lovers, we have come to the end of this story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment at the comment section. Till I come your way again. Bye-bye.